actually back from China, and then went on to getting sick and not to the best of my health at the moment, but I have a new kind of a topic that I actually am very interested to share with you guys. So a little bit of sharing. I actually have been on a journey of learning about the Chinese astrology, Bazi analysis, since I would say probably more than 10 years ago. And by all means, I'm not an expert, but I think with this more than 10 years kind of experience on reading up on Bazi astrology analysis, like I'm really interested in Western astrology as well, especially in analyzing people's birth charts and their current luck, like what can happen in the near recent days for these people or these characters. And so interestingly, since I started playing an Otome game in 2024, late 2024, obviously I fell in love with playing Love and Deepspace Otome game, but that leaves me very curious to kind of try my hand at analyzing the male characters of the game. Now I need to give lots of caveats in this video that I am putting out there. Well, before I begin, first of all, I want to give credit to all the artists whom have created these beautiful pictures of Rafayel and anything that's Rafayel themed, be it they taking high resolution screenshots from the game, or drawing their art and sharing them on Xiaohongshu or X Twitter. So these beautiful pictures of Rafayel are what I've collated over these many months, and what resonates with me. So today I will be mainly focusing on Rafayel or Qi. So therefore a slideshow of Rafayel's pictures for you to enjoy, and as well as the DeepSeek song music playing in the background that I've got from Spotify. So I hope you guys enjoy my Bazi astrology analysis of Rafayel. Before I begin, I actually want to, again, besides giving credits to all these artists for these beautiful pictures, I do want to have a caveat of what I'm gonna be discussing and what all these entails as well, because I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. And I have actually been chatting a lot with DeepSeek on analyzing these Bazi charts of the LIs. And before I actually go into all the details, First of all, why did I choose DeepSeek? Because to me, Bazi is like a ancient traditional Chinese astrology, and therefore it being inherently Chinese, I actually used DeepSeek instead of ChatGPT to help me with the analysis of the LIs. So and also, I mean, my own personal opinion is that DeepSeek is a little bit more technical than ChatGPT. So it is a personal preference, because I think DeepSeek, it does a better job of understanding and translating things from Chinese or from a Chinese background, so, and being a little bit more technical. So I'm no expert at reading Bazi charts, but with the help of DeepSeek, I actually get down to asking DeepSeek quite a few interesting questions about the LIs and finding out more about them. So before I begin, I just want to share with you guys some of the questions that I actually asked DeepSeek before moving on to the meat of this presentation, or this discussion. So first of all, is there any point in analyzing love compatibility between a real life woman and the Otome game characters that she interacts with on a daily basis? After all, these characters are not real. Well, the short answer by DS is that yes, there is a point, but the point depends entirely on what the person is seeking from the analysis. So the value of analyzing love compatibility: number one, a self-reflection and self-discovery, a mirror for desires, so the traits you are drawn to in an Otome character, be it loyalty, intelligence, a rebellious spirit, or a protective nature, all act as a mirror. So analyzing why you love a certain character can reveal your own core values, emotional needs, and desires in a relationship that you might not have consciously articulated. That's very interesting. So understanding your love language as well. How do you prefer to give and receive affection? Otome games are built around different romantic dynamics. Preferring a character who gives words of affirmation versus one who shows love through acts of service can help you understand your own preferred love languages. Yes, that makes sense. Number two, emotional fulfillment and safe exploration. A safe sandbox. So real-world relationships are messy and come with the risk of rejection, heartbreak, and compromise. Otome games offer a controlled, safe environment to explore different kinds of intimacy, romance, and even conflict without any real-world consequences. Consistent emotional support for someone who may feel lonely, socially anxious, or is going through a difficult time. These characters can provide a sense of consistent, reliable companionship and validation. A feeling of being loved by a character, even if fictional, can release real dopamine and provide genuine comfort. Appreciation as art and narrative, right? So while analyzing a story, an Otome character is a piece of writing, voice acting, and art. Analyzing your compatibility with them is not much different from analyzing why you connect with a specific literary character like Mr. Darcy or Elizabeth Bennet. It's an appreciation of a well-crafted narrative and personality archetype. And then the shared interests, it fosters a sense of belonging and shared passion. Right? Important caveats and potential pitfalls. Reality check, they are not real. I I hate to say this, but yes, the S is right. This is the most crucial point. Compatibility is entirely one-sided and curated. So the characters' responses are programmed. They cannot change, grow, change, or surprise you in the way a real person can. They will never disagree with you on a fundamental level, have a bad day, or have needs that conflict with yours. Unrealistic expectations. So do take note. A real life partner cannot and should not be expected to behave like an Otome character. They are not designed to constantly prioritize you above all else or fit a perfect romantic archetype. Using Otome characters as a strict benchmark for real life compatibility is a recipe for disappointment. Definitely agree with this. Do take note. So the good news is there's a balanced, healthy perspective. So there is a point if you frame it correctly. Think of it not as, am I compatible with this fictional person, but as, what does my love for this character teach me about myself? What emotional needs is this character fulfilling for me right now? And how can this understanding help me communicate my needs better in my real life relationships? So, analyzing love compatibility with Otome characters is not pointless. It can be a valuable tool for self-discovery, emotional comfort, and creative enjoyment. Right, as long as the analysis is used as a mirror to look inward at oneself rather than as a checklist to judge real people, it is not only valid but can be a genuinely enriching part of one's emotional and imaginative life. Enjoy your Otome games and the characters you love. Just remember to keep one foot firmly in the real world, where the messy, unpredictable, and ultimately more rewarding relationships are found. So, another question that I've asked DeepSeek. Since Otome game characters are not real people, how can their Bazi charts with real birth dates be felt or influence the player? Well, direct factual answer is the character's Bazi chart, even with a real birth date, cannot influence the player in the same tangible, energetic way a real person's chart can, because the character has no inherent T or the life force. However, the experience of that chart can indeed be felt and can have a real influence on the player through the following mechanisms. So, a couple of mechanisms are mentioned here. It says that the most significant way a Bazi can influence you is through the writers and developers' design. So, the birthday is a deliberate clue. A character's birthday in a game is not random. It is a carefully chosen piece of character design, often aligned with Western astrology or simple narrative symbolism. So maybe not Western astrology, in this case it's in Eastern astrology, and the chart reflects the character's programming. So when you calculate a Bazi chart for a character, you are essentially reverse engineering the code of their personality. The chart you generate will almost perfectly align with their in-game traits because both the chart and the personality spring from the same source, the writer's blueprint. So a character written to be stubborn, wealthy, and authoritative will likely have a strong Earth Dragon profile. Alrighty, so what it's saying is that look, the birthday of a character is a deliberate clue, and the chart reflects how the character is like. By analyzing Rafayel's chart later on, let's see if it is accurate, in the sense that the chart will align with his in-game traits. So Let's see, the influence isn't from the chart itself, but from the masterfully crafted personality that the chart merely describes. Right, so you're feeling the influence of a well-written character, and the Bazi becomes a symbolic language to understand that design on a deeper level. This is where the magic happens. Alrighty, I think the second point is about the player. So interestingly, it actually says by treating the character as having a real chart, you deepen your immersion and emotional connection. That's true. And also when you see a character's traits reflected in the chart, it creates a powerful sense of resonance and validation. It makes the character feel more real, coherent, and fated. That's true as well. But I'll leave it to you to make your own opinions, maybe after watching what DeepSeek has to say about Rafayel's chart. And then the synchronicity. So if you calculate the character's Bazi and you find it highly compatible with your own, that discovery can create a powerful positive feeling of destiny or soulmate connection. This feeling is real, even if its trigger is symbolic. Right. This perceived synchronicity can intensify your emotional attachment and enjoyment. Bazi as a tool for deeper analysis and enjoyment, so a new lens for appreciation. It allows us to analyze the character dynamics. And so it's similar to discussing a character's MBTI. There's an MBTI type, DISC types, Western astrology, tarot reading, Western astrology reading. So Bazi is merely another tool that we use in this world to understand someone's character traits. So I've asked DeepSeek a few other quite profound questions. So like how can an Otome LI love interest or character be a symbolic representation of other real life similar energies in our lives, player's life? So relationship patterns, mirror for current life circumstances. I mean, all these is a little bit heavy and deep. I'm not sure if this is for you, but yep. So I wanted to say that it's fun to analyze the Bazi chart of someone, but they are not real. Let's keep it as that and do this for fun. Yeah. So without further ado, I am gonna start chatting and going down into the destiny analysis of Rafayel. So I asked DeepSeek to analyze Rafayel's Bazi chart and mine. And before we begin, I want to share with you guys some assumptions that I have. So how do I calculate Rafayel's Bazi chart? From the LED's story timeline of the year 2048, and that Rafayel is currently 24 years old, I've assumed that he's born in the year 2024, which is the year of Wood Dragon, because 2048 minus 24 is 2024. And that is assumption number 1. And assumption number 2, why dragon and not rabbit or snake? That means, before the year of the dragon was year of the rabbit, and before and after year of the dragon is year of the snake. So 1 year before and 1 year after. Besides having Love and Deepspace launching in the year 2024, I know this is maybe it's a little bit far-fetched, but there is a saying in Chinese saying of the carpfish, or what we call the li yu, fish being yu in Chinese, transforming into a dragon by jumping over the gate. This is a very mythological story. So Raphael being inherently a merman, a fish, I do think that he is born in the year of a dragon. Now, for example, I would actually assume that something else that is symbolic in the game is, for example, Xavier, Shen Xinghui. I would actually assume that he's born in the year of the rabbit, because which means 2023, 1 year before Raphael. Why? Because there are many symbols in the game that associates Xavier with the rabbit. So I do think it is deliberate that it is so, and therefore, I would assume that is that. But of course, taking with a pinch of salt. Again, this is just my own assumptions. Well, and point number 3, it is known that his time of birth is either dawn or dusk, right? If we read his storyline. But we are not using the time pillar in this analysis in order not to draw the wrong conclusions. Nonetheless, this does not make the analysis any less accurate or fun, since 75% of it is correct. So in Bata analysis, there are 4 pillars: the year, month, date, and hour pillars. So 2 characters in each pillars, or the 4 pillars. So that is why it is named Bazi, because there are 8 characters in total. So since I don't want to use the wrong time pillar and cause any wrong conclusions, I will not be using the time pillar in this analysis, because just don't want to draw any wrong conclusions. And then again, that doesn't mean that it is inaccurate or less fun, because we've got 3 out of 4 pillars, the year, month, date. So 75% of it is available for us to analyze and have fun with, and therefore the birth date of Raphael or Qiyu that we are using here to do this analysis is the 6th of March 2024. So last but not least, I have used my own chart to calculate the synastry Synastry is actually a branch of astrology which compares two or more natal charts to analyze our compatibility, relationship dynamics, and potential for interaction between that character and mine. So without further ado, let's start. So let me show you. Well, there are like Bazi Chart calculators on the internet, so I have used my resources and what is available to me to calculate Rafayel's Bazi Chart. And this is his chart. He's born in the year of the Jiawood dragon. Jiawood meaning the yang wood. So in every element there is yin and yang. Yin being the feminine energy and yang being the masculine energy. And there are 5 elements each. 金木水火土. So we have 5 elements: the metal, water, earth, fire, and wood. So as you can see here, instead of Bazi analysis, maybe a more accurate way of seeing this is 六字, right? Because we are missing the hour pillar. But we can see that Rafayel is born in the year of the Jiawood dragon. And then the Ding fire, which is the yin fire, rabbit month, because his birthday is in March. And then on the actual day, 6th of March 2024, it is a day of the yin Ji earth snake in the day pillar. So again, it's symbolic. Each of these animal signs and elements, there are ways for it to interact within the Bazi chart itself. So that actually pretty much tells the characteristics of Qi or Rafayel. So let me share with you how I've got his analysis. So I have provided the Bazi chart for Rafayel to DeepSeek, and then I've asked for it to analyze and define his character, traits, interests, abilities, and talent based on his Bazi chart. So what DeepSeek comes up with is, to clarify the analysis, I've converted the data you provided in the proper Bazi chart. Yes, the details you provided are Jia Chen, which is the wood dragon. The month pillar is Ding Mao, the yin fire rabbit. The pillar is the Jisu, the earth snake, and the gender is male. So DeepSeek itself has also mentioned that for a complete analysis, the hour pillar is usually required to confirm certain traits and the strength of the elements. However, based on the 3 pillars provided, we can still derive a very strong and accurate psychological profile. Here's the analysis of Rafayel's character, traits, and abilities based on his chart. So the core self, the Ji Earth, Rafayel's day master, is the yin earth element, and the Ji Earth is like the soil or fields, the clay used for pottery, or the riverbanks. So all these descriptions are very symbolic. These elements and how they are like is used to kind of explain or provide a symbolism for his character. So it doesn't mean that he's actually of earth himself. So symbolically, he is unlike The strong mountain like Wu Earth, which is the Yang Earth, the Yin Earth, Qi Earth, is adaptable, fertile, and receptive. And this suggests a person who is humble, empathetic, and detail-oriented on the surface. However, because the earth needs to be hardened, like clay fired into pottery, to gain structure, he is highly influenced by the elements surrounding him. That's interesting. So, Rafayel has two main structures in his chart. So therefore, in my question to DeepSeek, I also asked about these two specific structures of Rafayel's. So these two structures are the 7 killings, Qisa versus the direct officer Zhen Guan. And then this chart is fascinating because it contains both in the same pillar. The month pillar, the Ting Mao, contains the element in wood, and the in wood is the direct officer for the earth person. The year pillar, Jia wood, represents the 7 killings. So actually, he actually has the both yin and yang wood elements in both the year and month pillars, and therefore the result is that he has both the officer and the killing present. The 7 killings is sitting on top of the year pillar, while the direct officer is hidden in the month. Right, what does this combination mean for his personality? He's a strong 7 killings profile because the Jia wood is directly visible in the year pillar. That means it's on top. So it represents the external world, ancestry, and early life. So he projects this energy outward. Traits would be ambitious, aggressive, decisive, rebellious, and competitive. He has a natural instinct to challenge authority and overcome obstacles. He's a general type, willing to take risks that others wouldn't. He can be prone to impatience, impulsiveness, and a tendency to burn bridges if he feels restrained. He needs pressure to perform. Without it, he becomes restless. Is that why he's always needing Thomas to give him pressure? So the hidden direct officer is hidden in the rabbit in his month pillar. This represents his conscience, his sense of propriety, and his respect for structure. It makes him principled, reliable, and charming in a conventional way. It tempers the wildness of the 7 killings. So the dynamic is that the direct officer acts as a brake for the 7 killings accelerator. Conclusion on the structure: Rafayel is not just one or the other. He's a 7 killings controlled by direct officer profile. So that means he has the raw ambition and talent of a conqueror, as he should be, right? Lemurian sea god. But he also possesses the internal moral compass and social grace to know when to stop and how to behave. I do feel like Rafayel, with all the things that has happened to him and his people, the Lemurian people, he does know when to stop and how to behave. I mean, he's immensely mature for his age. So I definitely agree with this line, that he has an internal moral compass and social grace. for sure. What do you guys think? Does this actually describe Rafayel so far? I mean, seems still a little bit not too sure, right? Like let's see if DeepSeek actually is gives more information about Rafayel's character. So the influence of fire, the Ting Hor, in his month pillar. The Ting fire is like a candle flame or campfire. For the earth fire is the intellectual resource. This is the most powerful point in the chart. The Ting fire sits directly above his inner officer, which is the rabbit, and it transforms the harsh wood energy into positive energy. Interesting, meaning the fire cooks the earth, turning it from mud into sturdy pottery. It also tames the aggressive wood. So this means his abilities. This indicates immense creativity, intelligence, and eloquence. Wow. So Ting fire people are charming speakers and artists. Because this fire is nourished by the wood, his creativity and intellect are fueled by his ambition and sense of duty. Okay, at this point, right, I feel like this analysis of his Bazi chart has got it down really accurate to the point of identifying how Rafayel is a very creative speaker and artist. So that is pretty much him, right? At this point in time, this is very accurate to me. And let's go down to the character, interests, and talents. Okay. The combination of the earth and Ting fire, adaptable, charm, 7 killings intensity, creates a very magnetic personality. People are drawn to his confidence and warmth. Wow. Alright. Artistic talent. Oh, right. So now they're really going in depth into his artistic ability. Artistic talent. He's born on the 祭祀 day, which is the yin of snake day, and then because the snake actually contains a hidden yang fire and yang metal, and because yang metal is the food god for the earth, representing output, expression, art, and speech. And the Wu fire, which is the yang fire, is a resource for the earth people, and then it represents wisdom and protection. So the result of this is this day combination is highly artistic. Oh wow. Suggests he might be excellent in creative fields like painting, music, design, or acting. What the hell? This is like, look, I this is entirely based on Bazi analysis. Is nobody has fed how Raphael should be. But yeah, I guess the designers of the game or the character founders of Qi or Raphael have actually done his Bazi, got his birth date and Bazi reading down pat. Excellent in creative fields like painting, music, design, or acting. So he has the technical skill and the spiritual emotional depth to create moving arts. Ooh, I'm a little bit shook by this analysis. This part is super accurate. Strategic thinker with the 7 killings pressuring him from the year pillar. He's constantly thinking 2 steps ahead. He's not just a dreamer, he's a tactician. He knows how to navigate politics and competition. What? Are you kidding me? Raphael is really great at navigating politics and competition. That main story of him at the nest using MC to gain a deal with someone else who's someone who's highly apt at politics. So he has a need for autonomy. No, I'm laughing at this because Thomas he hates being micromanaged and he needs a leader who gives him a go and then gets out of his way. Poor Thomas. Alright, yep, I understand. He hates being micromanaged. So, yep, potential weaknesses. Wood is very strong when he's born in spring, the months of spring, February, March, and this means Raphael often feels burdened by responsibility or expectations. He might suffer from anxiety or stress, feeling like the world is a heavy weight on his shoulders. The need for validation because his direct officer is hidden. He secretly craves validation from legitimate authority figures, parents, mentors, the law. Even though his 7 killings nature makes him act rebellious. I think this can be seen from a beast walker. I think he secretly craves validation from the elder, right? Okay, so a summary of Raphael. Raphael is a gentleman warrior. On the outside, he projects the energy of a 7 killings personality, ambitious, competitive, rebellious, and incredibly driven. Yes, I fully agree. He has the aura of a leader who is not afraid to get his hands dirty. However, on the inside, he's tempered by a hidden direct officer, giving him a strong sense of justice and propriety. He doesn't want to conquer the world for the sake of chaos. He wants to reform it according to a higher standard. His greater asset is the Ding Fire intellect charm that sits between his inner self and outside world. This fire allows him to channel his immense ambition into creative and intellectual pursuits. This fire. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because Raphael's evil is fire. So he's likely a master of his craft, someone who can captivate an audience with his presence and his work. Indeed. And in essence, he's a structured rebel. a passionate artist with a tactical mind, a leader who respects the rules but will bend them to achieve his vision. Alrighty, this is very interesting, very true as well. So the second part of the analysis that I've asked DeepSeek to go into is that, are there any interesting aspects about Rafayel that can be analyzed and shared in detail from his Bazi Chart? And he is an art painter, as DeepSeek have correctly identified. And Rafayel is a digital character, and in his world, he's currently 26 years old and going through 几世比肩十年大运. These are the elements, as you can see here on the PowerPoint slide, that he is currently going through a in love with snake 10-year luck pillar, but in the actual world he's only 2 years old and going through Wu Chen, which is the young earth dragon, Jie Cai, rob wealth, 10-year luck pillar. Let's see how this is there's a unique duality in Qi or Raphael's destiny analysis, because weirdly because Love and Deepspace Lincoln City is based on year 2048, so therefore in that world, in his world, he's currently 26 years old, but in our real life world he is only 2 years old. But let's see what DeepSeek says. So the real world age is the Wu Chen pillar, and it is a Rockwell star for Raphael. And this part where he is going through accumulation phase, right? So in Bazi, when a person is very young, the luck pillar often describes the environment provided by the family and the raw potential being stored rather than acted upon. So Raphael has had a rob wealth dynamic. At this age, this manifests as a competitive household or an environment where the child has to share resources, attention and love. It creates a personality that's tough-skinned early on. So share resources, attention and love. How I would interpret this is yes, perhaps being the next Lemurian sea king or god. Definitely he has to be in an environment where he has to share or be generous with his resources, right? I'm sure his parents have to divide their attention towards him, and as well as their duties. But on kind of using this as an example of what it is realistically in Love and Deepspace, is that look, he has to share attention and love with 4 other brothers in the game, or 4 other love interests that he has, right? So the very first 10 years he will have to share this. And then the Chun Reservoir. Energy of the earth is consolidating his potential. Currently in the cocoon phase, all the talent, the painting, the fire is being developed internally but not yet shown to the world, because the owl pillar is unknown. Okay, right. So he is pure potential, naturally stubborn, and self-reliant, even as a toddler. Oh, I can so imagine him being that, but he's likely absorbing information at a massive rate, storing it for later use. Quick, fast learner, I would say. Right. So this is how he is. And then at the in his universe at age 26, the decade, the 10 years decade, psychology gets intense. So in the story, he's 26 and walking the 几世 decade pillar. The Earth is a compare star. It's a 比肩 compare shoulder star. And the fire snake is the seal or resource. So what this means is the mirror match, the most poetic aspect of his chart. Meaning, because his day pillar over here, if you see on the slide again, the earth, the yang, the yin of snake actually corresponds to his luck, 10-year luck pillar from the age of him being 20. So he's literally living inside his own reflection. The luck pillar is a perfect replica of his inner self. This creates a character who is deeply introspective, possibly narcissistic or struggling with identity. He is fighting against himself, or perhaps he is his own greatest ally and his own greatest enemy. Simultaneously, there's no escape from self during this decade. Wow. Struggling with identity, huh? And then we have the compare shoulder, the T Earth. Since his day master is T Earth, meeting another T Earth in the luck pillar is like meeting a twin brother. The positive traits, he gains immense physical stamina and support from peers. In the story context, this means he's surrounded by rivals who are equals, or he finds partners who are exactly like him. He's not lonely, but he is also not unique. I have something to say about this, but I won't spoil it for you guys, and I will share a little bit more about this later on. And then the negative traits of this is intense internal conflict. Right. The energy can lead to a stalemate where he's too stubborn to change because he keeps looking at himself. For a painter, this is the decade where he might paint only self-portraits, metaphorically speaking. His art becomes a reflection of his own soul rather than the outside world. Right. So this actually mean that that Raphael's art are almost always reflections of what's happening in his inner world rather than the outside. So I think in the main story it kind of seems like this as well. The very first painting that we actually come across for Raphael is that painting by the sea with the blood, right? So that's very, very interesting. So the return of the snake in his luck pillar combines with the snake in the day pillar. So two snakes there. Double snake, as mentioned before. Massive amplification of his artistic ability. Whoa. So from age 20 to 30 onwards, it will be a massive time for his artistic ability to be amplified. He's not just painting, he's obsessed with painting. Wow. And the fire gets so hot that the earth himself can either become beautiful porcelain or crack under the heat. The hidden officer writes, this suggests that at age 26, his internal sense of morality is often challenged by his pure artistic expression. So he might struggle with the question, should I paint what is right or what is true? It's a very philosophical question, right? I'm sorry. Where am I? Yep. Okay. Where is this? Yep. Should I paint what is right or versus what is true? So there is an anchor of the chart, which is the dragon, and this is the most important animal in his chart right now because it acts as the root for everything else. Dragon is the wet earth that controls the fire. In his universe timeline, there's a risk of the fire burning too brightly, emotional burnout or arrogance. However, because he was born in a Chen, in a dragon year, that dragon acts as a massive reservoir of cool water, his wealth, and earth. And even though the luck pillar is fire, his very foundation year pillar is a wet dragon that can absorb the heat. So therefore, the result of this is that he is resilient, and no matter how intense his emotions or fame get at age 26, the dragon in his roots prevent him from completely burning out. He can handle the pressure better than most. And then the summary of the dual timeline analysis. The real child is a dragon in the mist. His talent, painting art, is fully present but invisible to the world. Collecting experiences and building a stubborn, resilient character foundation, he's the potential of the masterpiece. And then the fictional artist, he's the guided mirror, living in a luck pillar identical to his birth chart. He is trapped in a cycle of self-reflection. This decade makes him an artistic genius because he can pour his entire soul onto the canvas. However, it also makes him prone to identity crisis and intense rivalry with those who are like him. Interesting. The tragic beauty. So the most interesting aspect is the contrast between the dragon and the snake. Dragon wants him to be steady, wealthy and controlled. Snake wants him to be passionate, expressive and fiery. At 26 years old, he's standing at the intersection of these two massive forces. He's a fire snake trying to dance on top of a water dragon. This makes for a character who is breathtakingly talented but perpetually restless. This sounds so like him. Always feeling like he's one step away from either total glory or total dissolution. So I guess this is the rather accurate analysis of Rafayel's character. Super talented, but as you know, sometimes he gets very restless, or I don't know, but he seems like someone who has OCD. That well, maybe not OCD, but like, you guys actually notice how he sleeps in the sleeping AR in the game. I do feel very sorry for Rafayel, because he does not sleep well at all. Like sometimes he just jerks in his sleep, and that's pretty sad, because it just showcases how restless he is, and he's unable to get any peace. So yeah, the tragic beauty. Totally agree. And then, you guys, if you mean Rafayel, I'm sure you will be very interested to understand what is his ideal romantic spouse or romantic partner. In Chinese astrology, we call this Zhen Yuan. Zhen Yuan is kind of like a true destiny kind of person. So I've asked DeepSeek to analyze what is Rafayel Zhen Yuan like, and can we describe her character traits, interests, abilities, and talent. Might be interesting for all you Rafayel mains out there to kind of compare yourselves. So see if the description of DeepSeek actually describes you being Rafayel main, right? So this is just for fun, so take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah. To analyze the ideal spouse or Zhen Yuan in Bazi, we look at two specific areas: the spouse palace, yes we do, and then the branch of the day pillar, the snake. It describes the external environment of the marriage and the type of person he is physically attracted to or drawn to in a partner. The wealth element for male, the wife star. So for male, and Rafayel is Yin Earth, Ji Earth day master. His wife star is the water, because Earth controls water, and it will be the Gui water element. And then this water represents the object of his desire. Based on his chart, his ideal spouse is a fascinating combination of the cool, deep qualities of water and the sharp, mysterious energy of the snake. So here's a detailed profile of his Zhen Yuan, right? True destiny. External image. It having the snake is extremely revealing, mysterious, philosophical, and deeply intuitive. The snake contains 3 hidden elements. The official seal, this is someone who is motherly, caring, and wise, and then she protects his creativity. And then the Geng metal, which is what snake contains as well, is the output star, makes her witty, eloquent, and potentially artistic or short-tongued. And last but not least, Wu Earth element, a friend element, and this makes her stubborn, loyal, and equal to him. And visual and personality summary. He is drawn to someone with a mysterious, elegant, and refined appearance. She is likely slender, graceful, and carries herself with a quiet confidence. She is not loud or boisterous. Her power is in her eyes and her words. The soul of the spouse, the water element. As a Ji Earth man, his natural complementary element is the Gui water, which is the Yin water. And Gui water is rain, mist, dew, or waterfall. It's soft, adaptable, and nurturing, but it can also carve through rock over time. And why they fit? This is really talking about the interactions between yin fire, a yin earth element, and why a male yin earth would need rainwater to be fertile and to grow his talents and bring him to life. So the combined portrait of the ideal spouse. So both the Kuei water and the snake. Because his chart has a double fire, right, both in the month and the day, and a strong wood in his year, his water wife must be strong enough to not evaporate upon contact with him. So her character will likely be the gentle diplomat, the water aspect. On the surface, she is soft-spoken, empathetic, and highly adaptable. She can navigate social situations with grace. She is the type of person who listens more than she speaks. But when she speaks, her words are profound, like rain nourishing the earth. And then she's also a sharp strategist. Beneath her gentle exterior lies a razor-sharp mind. The Geng metal, Shangguan, hidden in the snake, gives her a critical eye and a fantastic sense of humor. She's the only one who can tease Rafayel without making him angry. She sees through his 7 killings bravado instantly. And then the silent pillar, the earth in the snake, makes her incredibly loyal. Once she commits, she's a rock. However, she is also stubborn. She will not be controlled by Rafayel's strong personality. She will stand her ground quietly but firmly. What do you think? Does this match your character or personality if you are Rafayel Min? So, her interests and abilities. Intellectual and philosophical. She is likely interested in psychology, spirituality, astrology, or strategy games like chess. This is actually talking about me. I'm a Rafayel Min, but the truth is Rafayel is not my Zhengyuan. He's not my true destiny, sadly, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So she enjoys solving puzzles, especially the puzzle that is Rafayel himself. Artistic appreciation, not necessarily creation. While Rafayel is the creator, his wife is the connoisseur, because her hidden Geng metal is trapped inside the snake. She has a perfect eye for art and beauty, but she might not be the one holding the brush. She is his harshest critic and his biggest fan. That sounds what MC looks like, right? She might be a curator, a writer, or a musician. Financial acumen. She has a natural understanding of value and resources. She manages the field while he paints the sky. Okay? The dynamic between them, the harmony. So because Rafayel is a snake day person with a wood dragon year, his ideal spouse will likely have a strong water or metal element in her chart to create balance. So the 6 harmony crew, the snake, forms a specific harmony with the rooster. If his ideal spouse was born in a rooster year or has rooster in chart, is considered a destined match. So a rooster year, or have a rooster in your chart, that means to decipher this, rooster in the month is actually in the month of September. And if you are born between the timing of 5 to 7 p.m., then you have rooster in your chart. So check out your charts, people, to see if you are ideal spouse for Rafayel. The rooster would liberate the Keng metal inside his neck, creating a relationship where they constantly inspire each other, right? The snake also forms a water bureau with the rooster and ox. This means a spouse with strong ox or rooster would transform his snake into a massive water lake. This would be his ultimate soulmate. If you're born in the month of the ox, that would be in the month of January. So if you're born in the month of January and September, then you are born in the ox or the rooster month. And then for the timing, ox timing would be between 1 to 3 a.m. And then the rooster timing would be 5 to 7 p.m. So as for the day, we wouldn't know unless you plot and calculate the Bazi Chart. So just sharing a very quick way for you to find out if you have ox and rooster in your chart as well. Ultimate soulmate. Why? Because his aggression melts away and he finds peace. So why is she his positive destiny? She grounds the fire. Because he risks burning out, and water spouse is not just a lover, she's a life-saving medicine. Prevents him from self-destructing. Validates the officer. She reminds him why he paints, not just that he paints. She matches his intensity. Boring people need not apply. The Keng metal in his spouse's palace ensures she's sharp enough to spark him verbally and intellectually. So, a summary of the ideal spouse is she's a silent lake, hiding a sword. Appearance is graceful, elegant with deep, calm eyes, but sharp, intelligent features. Personality, she's outwardly gentle and nurturing, inwardly sharp, witty, and fiercely loyal. Role in his life, she's his muse and his manager. She inspires his art and criticizes it constructively. She's the only person who can tell him no and make him listen, right? She likely has a connection to the rooster or ox, or her birth chart contains abundant metal and water elements to balance his fire and wood. She's not just the woman he loves, she's the anchor that keeps the brilliant, volatile artist named Rafayel from floating away into the void. Interesting. So at this point in time, what do you guys think? Like, did this describe, especially if you are Rafayel main as well, does this describe how you are as a Rafayel main, or does this do you resonate with it? So I'm not very sure if how I resonate with this. So I continued asking DeepSeek to further analyze my own Bazi chart with Rafayel's. So I'll share it with you guys in a while, in a bit. But at this point in time, let me know what you think, or leave a comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. What do you think about this analysis, and has it been accurate so far? And what do you think about the description of his true destiny ideal partner? Alrighty, and then I'm gonna go on to the last question or so, which is highly personal, because I actually asked DeepSeek to analyze, I mean, using myself as an example, analyze the synastry between Rafayel and my own chart, because well, I'm a Rafayel main. So the description of the true destiny or ideal spouse of Rafayel so far, I'm not really sure how it resonates with me, because I'm not someone who is oh, hi. Hello. Hi, Cass. How are you? And Chelsea Bear, thank you for reading. Hello, hello. Do you remember me? Yes, of course I remember you. How can I prove myself that I remember you, Cass? You're the guy who writes about Caleb's letters, right? And then you ask about this very old Cantonese song, and you were surprised that I actually know that song. Yep, see? Great, I proved it. That's you. And Chelsea Bear is... I don't know Chelsea Bear though. I'm sorry. Completely new to me. You did Rafayel recently. Wow. Wait, what do you write? I encourage her to read you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for rating my channel. It was really sweet. Wait, what was sweet? Compared MC to a lovely scenery he was drawing. Look, I'm doing a Bazi analysis on Rafayel right now. Wait, and the signature said, make a masterpiece with me. Do you wanna? So I pulled out a drawing of the scenery that was described in the letter and told them to make a masterpiece with me. Chelsea Bear, thank you. I'm gonna follow you back. Thank you for the read. So the letter matched reality. Oh, that's really cool. Look, the funny thing is, you know what Bazi is, right, Cass? I suppose you do. Because you're Asian like me. And Bazi Chart, Bazi analysis. So the Chinese astrology analysis of a person's birth chart. I'm now doing it one on Rafayel, and yeah, oh that, yes, that. So today's stream is a little bit weird. Oh yeah, no worry, Cass. Yeah, so today's stream is a little bit weird because I don't do the usual gaming stuff, but I am here doing a live stream and analysis on Rafayel's Bazi Chart. So as you can see on my screen, I actually have his Bazi Chart on display. Because I actually have been doing this for out of interest for quite a number of years, so it's very interesting for me to kind of read this chart. I do plan to read on all the other LIs, but I'm starting today with Rafayel first, since he's my main. And then ironically, what you told me about the letter and the art piece, the drawing, right? So of course I'm not an expert in I'm not a master in Bazi analysis, but with the help of DeepSeek AI, I'm actually going through an analysis of Rafayel's chart and how his ideal romantic partner or spouse, or what you call the 正缘 or the true destiny person is like. And look here, the role in his life, the MC is his muse and manager. So she actually has a way, she's able to appreciate art and being his harshest critic, but also the person who supports him the most in terms of his art. She is not the person who draws, but she's the person who actually helps him a lot in his artistic endeavor. So pretty interesting to see how it actually manifests in real life to everyone, and especially those Raphael mates who do painting as well, or do artistic pictures, like how some of these pictures I now have on display are actually by people who actually do art and design. So very, very interesting analysis. I was actually about to get to this part of the analysis whereby I have kind of completed some basic analysis of Raphael's characters, his traits, his talents and his skills. I'm now about to actually throw myself into the fire. And I wanted to ask DeepSeek to do a Synastry analysis of myself. So using my own chart to calculate the Synastry. So it is actually a branch of astrology which compares two or more natal charts to analyze the compatibility, relationship dynamics, and potential for interaction between individuals. So I was about to do that with myself and throw myself into the fire, and that would would be the last thing that I would actually analyze on Rafayel's chart before I call it a day today. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Or if maybe if you would like, I can try to do analysis for anyone who's interested, but you guys might have to provide me very personal details, like your date of birth or something like that. So that's why I'm saying I am throwing myself into the fire. I'm gonna use myself as an example to actually calculate the synastry between Rafayel and myself. So without further ado, I'm gonna share with you guys what does DeepSeek says. So I asked DeepSeek, can we analyze the synastry between me, Jing, and Rafayel? And then I gave my Bazi chart. So basically it's the birth date, and then this is the result from Master DeepSeek. So now what DeepSeek does is it lays out both charts clearly. It says Rafayel is a Earth Earth Day Master, Wood Dragon year, in Fire Rabbit month, and Earth Snake Day. Notable traits: strong 7 killings, tempered by Fire Seal, Spouse Palace, intense, artistic, and strategic. Whereas, okay, I'm getting nervous because there seems to be more viewers on this part. And then for myself, I am my day master is the same as Rafayel's. So I wanted to speak a little bit more about this earlier on, but yeah, this was something that I wanted to share. Like, I have the exact same day master as Rafayel. Born in the year of the monkey, Yang metal, Yang wood monkey. Day is the earth goat. Owl is the earth dragon. My notable traits. I don't know if anyone is even interested in this, but this is me, right? A double monkey with gung metal output and Jia wood, 7 killings. Strong, independent, sharp-witted, but with a solid earth foundation. So this is me. Don't think anyone's interested in that, but I'll quickly scroll through it. Part 1 of the synastry analysis. The core dynamics. Same day master. We are both the Earth Day Master. So Rafayel and I. So we are made of the same clay. We understand each other's fundamental nature on a primal level. There's an instant feeling of familiarity, as if they have known each other for a long time. Okay, and then the challenge. When two the Earth people come together, there's a risk of Pijian energy. This can manifest as stubbornness or power struggle. Gosh. As neither naturally wants to submit to the other, they are equals, which is beautiful but requires conscious effort to avoid competition. No way, man. I'm not competing with Rafayel. I can't win. And then part 2, the 7 killings connection. Oh, we share blade. This is the most intense and defining aspect of the synastry. His 7 killings sits in his ear pillar, and then mine sits on my mum pillar. So we both carry the Jiawood energy. We both understand what it feels like to carry the weight of 7 killings. We don't need to explain the drive to each other, is inherently understood. Mutual attraction. Jiawood in my Mun pillar resonates with his in the ear pillar, and this creates a feeling of fate or destiny pulling them together. He sees his own ambition reflected in her. Interesting. Well, because Raphael is not real, of course, I don't know how he's gonna see his ambition in me, but okay. And then potential for conflict. Well, of course. Nobody can go by without conflict, right? Wood controls earth, and if they are not careful, they can control or pressure each other, become each other's greatest critique rather than each other's support. Okay. Spouse palace synastry, marriage compatibility. This is where we see if the bedroom matches. Raphael's spouse palace is a snake, mine is the goat. The harmony. In Chinese metaphysics, snake, goat, and ox form a tree harmony. Okay, we are part of the same element bureau transforming into metal. Massive green flag. I think DeepSeek is it's kind of funny, right? Massive green flag. Like a green flag is not enough, but it's massive. And the two spouse palaces are in harmony. It suggests that their domestic lives, their private lives, and their long-term goals naturally align. They fit together like pieces of a puzzle. Interesting. But before I go on further, bad news that I've come across after all this synastry battle analysis that I've done on the LIs and with me, and using myself as example. Unfortunately, even though I mean Raphael, he is not my true destiny. I mean, it sounds really great here. Like we are still compatible, but he's not my true destiny, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Okay. So this one is talking about how my ideal partner is. I want an ideal partner who is my equal. Yes, that's true. I want a friend and a spouse. Yes, that's true. And then Raphael provides this as a fellow T-Earth. Yes, that's true. I crave a partner with integrity and structure. Raphael's hidden wood fits this need beautifully. Yes. I need warm and intellectual simulation, and then his sting fire fuels my good palace. Verdict: my ideal partner is someone who provides earth, wood, and fire, and Raphael provides all three. Yes. So in my perspective, Raphael is ideal partner. Yes. And then part 4, what they give each other. What Raphael gives me. Okay, all these are like very elemental analysis. So I think I will dive focus into these descriptions in bold. The main key takeaway is that I'm his muse. I don't just inspire him, I actively give him the tools and the courage to create. My presence amplifies his artistic genius tenfold. That's crazy. Interesting. I bring him luck and resources. Alrighty. And then, of course, potential challenges, how we clash. I might criticize or cut down Raphael's grand ambitions. Might feel that I'm too sharp or too blunt. A snake-monkey relationship is a harm relationship. There can be minor misunderstandings, hidden frustrations, things left unsaid that fester. Might occasionally feel like they are speaking different languages even though their hearts are aligned. Yep. The ultimate outcome. We share the same root. In the long run, we are building the same life, legacies intertwined. This sounds too good to be true though. Maybe I'm just being skeptical, I don't know. But final summary. Two trees with intertwined roots. The spark, drawn together by a shared sense of destiny and ambition, recognize the warrior in each other. By the way, speaking about warriors and fighting, I just went through the senior hunter contest last night, and I did an all Rafayel team for teams A, B, and C. I breezed through it like it was nothing. I mean, I was really surprised because before this I've only really completed the senior hunter contest, like full star of 36 stars, only once before this, so it's quite interesting. And then domestic lives and private selves are naturally aligned. They want the same things from a partnership. Jing is the ultimate catalyst for his art. Minor misunderstandings, might be too blunt, he might be too sensitive, so maybe it's a good thing that he's not real and conscious communication to bridge the gap. Okay, the verdict: this is a highly compatible match with a fated feeling. This is why he's my main. They are equals, same day master who complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. Jing provides the metal and water that Raphael lacks, turning his fiery passion into tangible masterpieces. Raphael provides the fire that Jing needs to soften her sharp edges and warm her heart. They are a power couple destined to create something lasting together. Oh, that's incredibly a very courteous and polite way of putting the analysis of Raphael's chart and mine together. So, yep, quite interesting. Does anyone wants me to ask DeepSeek to analyze your Bazi Chart with Rafayel's. Maybe I can do that on the go right now. Cass, do you want to? You know, you can actually analyze anything, like even friendships. You will pass, right? Does anyone want, or it's cool to have their charts analyzed? Let me know, and I'll do it on the spot right now. Seems like no one's willing to do this. Well, how about sharing with me whom you guys would like me to do Bazi analysis next, like out of the rest of the 4 LIs. It will be a fun one, and I'll start streaming it once I'm ready with some of this homework that I have to prepare, the content that I have to prepare before I do it. But I was actually probably gonna go either Zane or Xavier next, and then you know, just to complete the OG tree, and then only moving on to Silas and Caleb after. Everyone's really quiet, but yep, I hope you guys have an interesting time with me on this Bazi analysis for Rafayel. I think I'm not sure if it actually helps you to understand Rafayel's character a little bit more better. It definitely helps me to understand how a person's chart drives his personality and character. Okay, yeah. It will be very interesting to analyze Xavier and Zane. I think Zane's chart will be an easier analysis because it's quite simple to derive his year of birth from that storyline. But for Xavier, might be a little bit more challenging because supposedly he is born in the future, and then he has retrograded back like 200 years, right? But if I were to do Xavier's analysis, then it would definitely come with some assumptions, such as these that I've done for Raphael. Some assumptions like how I have gotten his year of birth. I think, like I said a little bit earlier on, I actually would assume that Xavier was born in the year of the rabbit. Probably, I would take the year of birth to be somewhat like 2023, which is the year of the rabbit. Probably because there's a lot of symbolic things in the game that actually links Xavier with the rabbit animal, right? Like the bun and all. And I feel like this the creators of the game or the characters would have done this purposefully, because it seems like they have very purposefully selected the birth dates of all these characters. So perhaps when I'm doing Xavier's chart analysis, there would be very strong caveats and assumptions on the year of birth for Xavier, as compared to the rest of the LIs, because the rest of the LIs are a little bit more straightforward. I can, calculate the year of birth from 2048, whereas for Xavier it's actually meant to be 200 years in the future, so I might have to do a very strong assumption on Xavier's chart. Yep, and so I think this will be the end of my destiny analysis of Raphael. And then I think something else that might be really interesting would be, for me to maybe try and do a Synastry reading. If I'm doing one of Xavier's, I'd probably be using a mood, the chart of a mood of mine, who's a Xavier mean, to analyze a Synastry with Xavier for fun. Okay,